Check 1 2. Check 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 check. Whoa whoa whoa. Ho ho ho. Check 1 2. Who we got out there? Oh. So you got 2 viewers on the stream. That's cool. Check 1 2. There we go. Okay. Yes, today I'm trying to figure out which song or songs from Dark Side of the Moon I want to tackle on this loop station. I'm definitely thinking Money. It's about time. Money's one of these songs that has like multiple parts to it and different time signatures on top of the bulk of the song being in the strange time signature of 7/8. Loop pedals do not like strange time signatures. I have a couple workarounds for that sort of thing, but in my my synthesizer software where I can switch sounds, because I have a feeling to do Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety, you're going to want to have some sound. So I'm going to start right now. Yes, Breathe. That one's a standard. I have that one all figured out, more or less how I want to do it. I'm not trying to do it like exactly like the record or anything. I just want to do some bits kind of like the record, some bits my own way. I just want to pay homage to it and have cool parts is kind of what I'm after. Obviously, you can't do a giant production like Dark Side of the Moon is a one-man band, but there might be cool ways to manipulate it to do so. Right now, just for fun, I'm gonna find the intro sound after Breathe. So I mean, the intro sound is like a kick drum, like. Then you do Breathe, and there's that strange, like psychedelic sort of synthesizer thing. And And I've sort of noodled around with that before, and I've actually posted a pretty cool reel, like a short of it. to spray this this wah pedal I have. I'll get rid of that background music. Strange. I did not expect that to trigger the synthesizer. Wow. Interesting. Now all of a sudden when I hit record on my looping pedal, it is triggering this E note on the keyboard. That is strange. I don't know what I did there. Strange. no idea why it's triggering that sequence. That is strange. Let's try money. So I'm going to tap quarter notes for a tempo, because this is in 7/8. I'm definitely going to make my own patch for the looping pedal, because this is going to be weird. I'm going to make a patch of money on this pedal right here. So let's see if this works. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I have noise on. I better turn them on. All right, I just turned noise gates off, so you should be able to hear me a little bit now. So, in my opinion, it's important to create a patch and actually name it when you're going to customize something right off the get-go, because the mistake I've made dozens of times is I start getting into changing how each loop behaves. You know, some songs, like a complicated, like one like Money by Pink Floyd, like this one, is going to need a lot of different settings to make it work. So as I start tweaking those, if I hit save over top of my old patch, you know, that I do a dozen songs with, I'm going to screw up a dozen songs, and I'm going to have to go back and fix it. And then I'm going to have to go copy, make its own patch, and then do everything all over again. And it can just be really tiresome. So I always just make it and title it in the loop pedal first, then get to tweaking. You'll save yourself a lot of headache. What's up, awesome chillaxing today? Hot as Hades here today. Where are you at? We have a nice cool day here in Florida finally. It's like 87 degrees. It still feels like every day is basically 92, 95. It says it's 85 today, but it kind of feels the same, but mentally it feels better. Oh, you're in Tampa. Okay, you get it. Tampa, I think it's even worse than I'm in Spring Hill area, Port Richey, and man, we don't need to complain about the weather. We just know. Yeah, sometimes in Tampa, I don't know if it's from all the pavement there and all the sunshine hitting it all day because it's flat in Florida, but it just heats up collectively there even more so. So yeah, I always make a patch. So now I'm in this mode that I call 3-3. So 3 drums on 3 tracks, and then the other 3 tracks I do like musical parts. So Money, if we listen to Money, I'm just going to go ahead and listen to it right now. So I'm going to pull up a YouTube video. Just bring on the copyright strikes.
Melt sales objections with this book. I just got my black book of questions in the mail.
So I'm going to analyze this song. So this intro is in 7/8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's all kind of B minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then this part changes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that one's still 7. It just changes the chords. I don't know. I missed that part. So that's like a chorus, okay? This is one of the most popular top 40 songs ever that has the weirdest time stuff going on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that has one bar of 8 and one of 7. Two of which, one of 8 and one of 6, which would be like 2 7s. Weird, but we can work with that. This is all still 7. And I have some hacks and workarounds for weird stuff like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. I could just count that as 7, 7. It's just the phrasing. All right, so right here. That's all 7. I'm gonna grab my coffee real quick. So when I add some effects, keyboard, I'm going to add a Wurlitzer, tremolo, with a little bit of wah on the guitar. I'll probably just do the saxophone solo as a guitar solo. 2 different tones though. I'll do 1 tone for the sax part, and then this iconic guitar solo, I'll do something different. But the time signature also changes for the big guitar solo. So this is all still 7. Here's the build up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. So that was 8. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So then it shifts 2, 3, 4, 2. It's also a little bit faster, so just switch to 4 and a little bit faster. I'll have to find a happy medium. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I can speed my loops up too. I have ways I can do that. Just have to decide if I want to go that into it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So this whole section with when the guitar solo comes in after is all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's the breakdown with the bass guitar. It's just a down chromatic. All right, it starts on the E and goes downwards. I actually didn't hear the bass do that. I just heard all the other instruments and the bass just came in. This is that same walking chromatic bass line. Then up to the E. Just down from the E. I'm going to assume it's going to go down from the F sharp. Oh, it holds 2 F sharp notes and then does chromatic like that. Okay. Now we're back into 7. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Faster tempo than the whole beginning of the song. This song is a project. I mean, is basically prog rock disguised as a regular rock song. 1. So I have to figure out on a loop station how to make beats and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure this ending 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 goes back to 4 for this ending. And instead of chromatic, it's just sort of a riff on the B minor. And then if I really want to get creative and do it justice, I'm going to have to find a way to sort of create a cool mishmash breakdown to get into this really chill Us and Them. With Us and Them, I've sort of noodled around with a little bit. All right.
Co-producer is going to give you unique sounds that actually...
So, yeah, so in tackling this song, basically I want to have some counts that are just quarter notes. Because the quarter notes will work whether it's 7, 8, or 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gets a little tricky. I mean, wow. So when this sort of thing happens, I have a crossroads. So if I want to get into like the drum beats and everything, I got to figure out how the heck am I going to lay down a drum beat and a bass line before I even get to the guitar and the singing for parts that are wildly different. And those breakdowns and those choruses and the verses are long phrases. So like, I mean, that verse phrase might have been more than 16 bars, might have been 24. The chorus, it's not the longest thing ever, but it's a chunk. It's a regular long phrase. And then you got the solo section for the guitar is a very long phrase. I mean, that might also be 24. So, but if you can't do bass and drums at the same time, I mean, you're looking at like 90 bars of music before you can kind of get to the singing. So you reach a crossroads. You find a really clever way to, oh, sorry, my head's cut off. I got to fix that. There we go. That's better. All right. So you got to find a clever way to either insert the drums with the bass, maybe, or you do the drums and then you don't do bass. Okay. And you just kind of vamp a guitar and you just play your guitar solos over a guitar that's, you're sort of leaning on the low frequency of the guitar. You know, and just hope it kind of sounds cool. Another thing that comes to mind is when I did get to the solo section, maybe I would do a vamp. I've been working on this skill where I play bass and keyboard at the same time. Whoa. There's the piano. Very hard, but... especially the more jazzy you get. Okay, that's where I'm going to have to definitely get into some like practice, okay? Then here's the extra thing you have to think about is if that is a long phrase that you got to loop with the hopes you get to solo after it, you can't screw it up. Otherwise, you got to redo the loop. So, you know, there comes a point where you just have to practice stuff like that, like crazy. So I have to make decisions about this sort of thing, you know, and sometimes I'll try it different ways. The easiest way to loop this would be to just stick it in like a full-on single, like one-shot mode and just do 3 different parts. Vamping with a guitar, and I would probably start the song with the solo section, just sort of riffing out, and then people wouldn't, but actually... I was going to say people might not know what song you're about to do, so it might be kind of cool, except my plan for this is to cover Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety. Can I play the Freebird solo? I cannot, unless it sounds like this. be easier with a beat. Let's see here. These are just some generic sounds I have here. I got to get some better sounds for this. So my first track would be quarter notes. Quarter notes are extremely hard to work with when you're looping because you have like a quarter note first loop is basically what I'd be doing. So the whole loop is 1/4 of a measure, but that lets me loop weird time signatures. So here we go. I'm just going to loop it real quick. Hotkeys aren't working, so I can't show you. So here's track 6 right here. The decay sounds kind of bad, you know, so I guess the other option is I could have a short loop, like a quarter note that doesn't have such a huge decay, like a ride cymbal, and then I could do 16, 14 bars. No, I mean, let's just see here. No. See, if I don't make it short, then every loop after it won't sync up at all, and it won't repeat at the right time when it's in an odd signature like 7. So I need to find a way to have a short loop feel natural. Okay, I'm not entirely happy with that. So that's like my basic rhythm in the background if I wanted to have drums for this. So I'm kind of going for the complicated way to do this. So I just turned my bass pedal on. So I'd want to do the solo section in 4. Okay, so I'm going to do it over here on channel 3. Oh. Here we go. It's really long, like I was saying. All right, I'm going to go up to the E. Back to the B. I wish I had I should do the split screen for this. Okay, that wasn't perfect, okay? So that's the iconic guitar solo. So now I still have to figure out how to do, like, the verse part, I relatively know, and the chorus. So here we go. I don't know if that worked. So because I made the loop so small in the beginning, if I tap one half of a beat ahead of time, it'll interpret that loop as a 6 instead of a 7. Very difficult. There's the verse. So I need to figure out that chorus. So already I'm thinking it's like so long. I'm just gonna fake some lyrics and see how it works without doing the bass line for the verses. Money, it's a gas. Share it fairly. Don't take a slice of my pie. Money, it's a hit. Don't give me that too good bullshit. There again, same problem. That phrase is cut into beats, so I have to be accurate in less than half a beat of when I punch out. Let's see here. I'm going to listen to the song and see how this goes here. But automatically right away, that felt better to just, even though the bass line is so iconic, I might just have to change the song up and do it with just guitar. So I'm just sort of noodling it around, trying to get a feel for it, you know? just sort of getting a feel for it, you know, and how I might want to do it. I'm just getting an idea that I think this one's just so complicated, I might just have to settle for a slightly different arrangement of it. So I think I'll have to do this song slightly more acoustically, meaning just less drums and stuff like that. I'm going to pull up the lyrics. All sorts of ads and ugly stuff. I got some issues here. Hold on. What is going on? What is happening? I lost. My software for my something stopped communicating here. Check, check, check. All right, I'm rebooting some software for a second, guys. This is the painful reality of this technological thing. Usually my practices are a lot smoother than this, but when I am, also streaming it, you have to factor a few more things in. So I appreciate your patience for checking it out and your curiosity. Definitely. Just got to roll with the punches when you try and do a bunch. Somebody yesterday thanked you for 100K in a day. Got 100K in one day? What are you talking, subscribes or dollars? Talking about the subject at hand, money? Well, 100K or 400K would definitely help a bunch of folks. You have beer, no problem. Rolling with the punches. check, check. Check, 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 check. Weird. What is going on? Duh. User error. I turned off all my extra special programming. There was a... Okay. I'll know to look for that next time. Anyways. I got two basic sounds here. Got that nice warbly sound. So this song, obviously we can do an intro. I'm just afraid if I do it with a bass, that when I go to do the rest of the stuff and the bass drops out, it'll be a little obvious. Let's try it with the bass this time. And you're okay. Money, it's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. So here's where I'd have to get to that verse that I don't quite know. I think that's how it's played. We're going to check that bass line. Let's check it out.
It fits your track in seconds. Let me show you. First, let it listen.
All right, we know this part. I can figure out where all those warbly sounds coming. So there's the Wurlitzer right after. The Wurlitzer's going. The warbly sound comes in right on the one. Money, it's a gas.
It's a gas. Cash with both hands and make a
Here's the part I'm really interested in. So now what I'm listening to is to see if every time there's a verse and it does that turnaround, if it's the same. Because I might just loop that whole chunk. So the second verse, so it's just like the first verse that does two different iterations of the verse. Okay, now we're gonna check this saxophone solo. Here's the second verse. Get away. So far, so good. Okay, but it goes to E minor instead of F sharp. So, yeah, this is different. I could have a button. No, I can't have a pitch shift button that pitches the way. I've done that before. So, yeah, this... I gotta figure out this solo anyways. I gotta learn that lick. That was a cool little lick. Man, I might be able to get... I'm thinking of how I would do this without a ginormous preparatory intro looping fiasco. I could do it with a freeze effect. So a freeze effect. Let's see here. Let's just try getting some keyboard stuff happening here. I just have to have a couple sounds here to work with. Obviously, the ride. If I do percussion, I might have some ride. Okay. This, sample drum kit. It's definitely a contender. If I want to digitize it, could have some 808s and claps, but I don't know if that's what I'm going for. Okay, there we go. Piano's like maybe, you know, maybe, so I'll leave that in there. Swoosh, I'm going to want a whirly, so I'm just going to make a whirly sound. Software's not happy. Something's overloading somewhere. I have a feeling Google Chrome is partially responsible. So, so I have that sound. Now, what else was I looking for? Oh, yeah, a bass sound. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. So on this hold button here, I don't know if you can see it, I can hold a sound, but that might be a bit much. Get the idea. Did anyone see what I did there? So that's another way I'm thinking of tackling that whole gigantic solo section, because I can't just loop some rhythm stuff for that because it'll take forever. Both of those solo sections are completely different phrasings, and they're both extremely long. So like I got to figure out what the heck to do with that. So I'm thinking I could hold a bass note, but I'd have to have something in the synthesizer that has some variance. So, like it's a long held thing. I suppose I could do, if I sample a mellotron is a long sample is how it works. So it'll have some variance. It just won't be the same monotonous drone. I'm not too sure. It works. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna make another thing with the mellotron in the low register and see if it works. Bass Echoes Submaster. Okay, no. What happened was I got rid of some plugins because it was crashing my system. So since then, I haven't went over my library of sounds and reconfigured it. So I have a big mess in behind my my software here. One of my favorites is the orchestra strings. That might work. let's see how it works with the rhythm, okay? I'm going to do a mock-up. All right, here we go. I'm in a totally different looping mode. All right. Never mind. I am going to go... How did I do this? Okay, I set up... So this is me shifting again instead of going simple. My mind in the middle of this conversation said, no, let's try and do a full orchestral loop for this. So I went from starting to try and do a full orchestral loop to going, man, this is way too complicated, to just doing a basic one-shot, 3 or 4 parts. But even that is going to be pretty tricky. So now all of a sudden I'm wanting to hear like some percussion and stuff. I'm going to try this again with this hold technique with the bass. I might be able to accomplish some cool stuff. Here we go. Let's see if it works. Wish me luck. Strings, don't think it works. So I'll load another patch, try something else. Juno. Juno could be interesting. It has a little bit of variance. All right, hold on. Now all of a sudden, I kind of want to hear. So that's sort of getting there. play Metallica. Sorry, man. I'm trying to learn a very complicated song and figure out how to loop it, because it's definitely a doozy. So, you know, that's sort of working for me. And technically, whatever I just did there, the loop prep time on that could be as little as 5 seconds. Okay? Sounds ridiculous, but I mean, I'll prove it to you. Especially if I get another keyboard or I reprogram these buttons, it can be done even faster. But just to reiterate here. Technically, for that other weird part, I can shift so it's not a droning bass. And I can switch to this sort of vibe here. I'll need a better whirly sound though. A better kick drum sound too. Got to do that double mirror thing. All right, so that brings me to another factor. So because it wants to build up and do that whole thing that I did before, I'm going to see if one of these tracks, I could record that bass line while I'm doing that first solo. And if I can, if it won't record the guitar. Now, normally that's not an issue because on each track of the RC600, you can actually tell it, you know, only record the guitar or include the microphone 1, microphone 2, instrument input 1, 2, etc. But I'm using USB in. So I'm going into my computer, generating sounds, and I'm using the USB out feature to go into the track. And there's no selection to exclude USB. So in this case, that's kind of fine because I want the USB, but I don't want any of this stuff. So we're going to see what happens here. So, I'm going to select track 3, and I'm going to try and tell it to only listen to the USB. So loop, track 3, record. Oh, that's not what we want. We just want track 3. Here we go, input. What do we want it to record? As far as I know, no instruments, no rhythm, no nothing. Is that funny? I turned everything off. let's see what happens. Because it's automatically always recording the USB, even though I've never selected it on a track. Yeah, and this is what you go through with this thing is a lot. This is still uncharted territory. This unit is, you know, it's X number of years old, 3-4 years old, best looping unit there is, arguably, and it's still like there's so many iterations of ways you could use it. It hasn't really all been explored yet. I'm sure some people might have. You know, someone like me in my garage, if I did this every day, I'd probably have it figured out in 6 months or so. But I mean, that's even then 6 months daily is a lot of time because there's so many features. Anyways, here we go. I'm gonna start the rhythm. So there's the rhythm, okay? I'm gonna record the bass line and we're gonna see if it comes back. I could do just a short snippet just to see. There it is. It recorded the bass, but not my guitar. So what this means is there isn't a feature inside this loop pedal to not include the USB on a track-by-track basis. You can, I think there's some place in the regular settings you can do it, but right there that tells me that no matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to tell certain tracks to not have the USB input. The other option is I could go out of a regular output out of my computer into the instrument 1 and 2 on my looping board, but I kind of want to avoid that. I used to do that, and there's some reason, I'm not too sure why, but USB technically should be a lot cleaner and a lot better, but there's less features, I guess. So, that being said, I'm gonna try to perform this solo that I don't know. I only have a rough draft of the idea of how to do it with, and I'm gonna lay down this bass line with just a temporary sound and just see what happens. It's a pretty cool sound though. I mean, it's dramatic. Right there after I do that is where I want to come in with the actual bass on the guitar. So I'll have to practice that. Just pretend I'm doing it right now. To do that unified lick. Then right here I'd go back into it. Weird. Okay, hold up. This time, there's no bass on this track. So you guys saw, I hope someone saw that. When I first tested it, the bass was coming back on this track. Now it is not. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. Zero. It's like I changed the settings and tested it, and it worked. And then as soon as I hit stop and then recorded some stuff on another track, it just decided, no, USB is not going to come through here anymore. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, I just tested again, but the only difference was the second time I tested it, it was a much longer phrase. But that shouldn't make a difference. Bass and the piano, if I can figure that out. Here's where I want to get this thing. It's not there. What the heck? I have no idea. Okay, well, I'm going to try it again. I'm just going to try a short loop like how it worked the first time. Or maybe I fooled myself and I left my keyboard on. Okay, so now that I turned everything off except the USB, what is it that lets the USB be recorded? What is triggering it? This is like finding a bug in the machine. Okay, I'll put on microphone 1. Let's see. I'm about to record to try it out. Here we go. Nothing. Okay, microphone did not do it. Let's try instrument 1. Here we go. Nothing. Okay, since rhythm is an oddball, I'm going to say rhythm. Nothing. Okay. Instrument 1. Nothing. Here we go. This is instrument 2. There it is. For some reason, it's patched to instrument 2. Okay, here's me trying to figure out the bug. When I finally turned on instrument 2, that was the last of all the options to turn on. So they were all getting gradually turned on. Maybe it's because everything was turned on. So here we go, just instrument 2. Okay, for some reason, it's coming through on instrument 2. I don't know if that's a setting I set somewhere in here, but I can pretty much assure you, no, it didn't work like that. That might be default how it's set up because it's like the most secondary of all things, but I'll take it. That's where I would put it if I had to put it, would be instrument 2 to tie it to something, and it happens to be my most free input on this thing, so there we go. Instrument 2 it is. Interesting. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do that again, and I'm gonna go fill up my coffee after I do that. So there you go. It's sort of the basic idea of how I'm tackling this. Yet to be determined. I'm just gonna grab a drink of coffee. right, I know that's getting crazy repetitive. I just had to go grab something to drink. Yes, fire the piano player. I know. Well, I don't technically play piano, and what I was trying to do there is actually play piano and bass at the same time. So, I don't know the song on guitar or piano or the bass line that well technically, but I'm trying to do that last lick. Actually, how would I do that? Would I do it? Yeah, actually, I'd do that with the piano. It's sort of a mind messer upper because I forget if I'm playing bass or guitar or what frequencies I want which instrument to use. When you start playing both of these things at the same time, and then this one takes the high register and the low register, but so does this one. Yeah, it's pretty confusing. Have to get used to doing that lick. It's just a practice thing, really. Okay. I don't really like that piano sound for this. I don't have a large piano, so but I was hearing this. This sounds like this would be good for Great Gig in the Sky. That'd be really hard. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I would do that without a piano with more keys. I would need like a octave up or down button to tell it to go up or down an octave with my foot. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm sort of just thinking ahead. Play Smoke on the Water. Okay. Hey, it's all good, man. YouTube is probably Ghost Chaser. It's all good, man. I agreed. I was thinking the same thing in my head when I was hearing that come back on the loop. Fire the piano player. That's the beauty about this is, you're firing iterations of yourself all the time and going back to the gig after you work on it. That's why some of us get into the looping thing, I think. Because we have challenges in bands and stuff like that. I think the key to this whole thing's going to be to trying to accomplish Dark Side of the Moon is just going to be really interesting tones. That are just tones that sort of stick out on their own and fill out without all the instrumentation that Dark Side has. I mean, it has backups, multiple backup singers, organs, pianos, dual guitars, tons of orchestral percussion. So it'll be about sort of breaking it down to its simplest elements, but making each one of those elements a sort of a world of its own. Yeah, make it your own, exactly. I don't like to say make it your own because it's the most overdone saying, and like all those those singing competition shows and all that. You made it your own, you really did. Or and I appreciate when people say that to me, and I do. I think it's overdone just a little bit, but in a situation like this, absolutely 5 bazillion %. You got to make it your own, because how the heck are you going to do this as one person? Even with a loop pedal, I think that's my point of this thing, is a tune like this or numerous tunes from this album. How the heck are you going to pull that off by yourself? It's almost absolutely ridiculous. Someone who has a really good handle on like synthesizer programming has a much better chance, but even them, they would probably have to team up with someone who really knows their looper. So, if you're going to play everything live, and I would plan on possibly having a couple samples. So yeah. I'm almost putting this one to bed for the day. What time we got, Amanda? 3:45. Yeah. I think it's time. Almost time I put this to bed. I sort of played around with it. I have a couple settings here. We've learned, for some reason, the USB comes in through the Instrument 2 input. I'm curious if I set that up somewhere in the past and didn't remember it. Our stuff way back blows their minds. Whose stuff you talking about? Awesome. And you're from the area. I mean, do we know each other like personally? Have you been to one of the shows or vice versa? Let me know. Awesome is from Tampa as well. So. What's that? Oh, did someone ask about this guitar? You said this one doesn't go out in the weather when it's hot anymore. So yeah, this is a guitar that's, pretty valuable and unique. They don't make that many of these compared to other standard Gibson ones. And I sort of made the decision when I got it, you know what? It's such a nice guitar. I'm going to just play it out and just sort of like damage it up and use it up, not intentionally damage it, whatever. The problem was one day I took it to a gig out here. It was in Tampa, outdoor like noon to 3, and they did not have a shade for me. Somehow they thought it'd be cool to have a private party, and they forgot the shade cover part at 12 to 3 in the summertime in Tampa on the pavement. Anyways, I have a hatchback. I popped open my hatchback and I sort of sat under that and played this guitar. The guitar performed fantastic in the heat. It actually was amazing. There was a studio musician there who's done a lot of records, even back in the day with Motown and stuff. Said, man, your guitar was on point. Great guitar tone, blah, blah, all that. Loved it. I put the guitar in the case. Now, remember, it was like 110 degrees out, and I just was 4 hours in the sun with the setup and in between and all that. And I put it in the case, brought it home. Well, the whole back of the neck was really messed up with the finish. It sort of melted and turned into like waves, and it was just never the same after that. So yeah, I've really sort of went over it a lot, and it's a bit better now, but there's still like chunks of like wax or whatever the finish is, and I just don't want to go out with this one very much anymore. Don't want it to get any worse. Do we got any new people in here? Give me a shout out in the chat if you're new and you haven't checked out the channel before. That'd be awesome. You know me from jamming with Sabotage? We played pool a lot. Huh. I don't recall that. It could have been sometime years ago or something like that. I don't know. But maybe I could just sort of just chalk it up for the day and just say, man, Money is a super difficult song to sort of loop with all the parts. And just move on, but Money! Now, there's no way I can sing a song I don't know and play bass and keyboard at the same time. No, not going to try that, especially where there's a public record of it. So going back to the simple route. Did all three parts. Now here's the fourth part, just on the guitar to keep it simple. Guess I could add some high string in there to make it interesting. Interesting. Something like that. And I could do this part before I start singing. Forgot to loop the chorus. Yeah, so there's really 5 parts to that, and 3 of them are so similar, but the song won't work if you change it. So, man, that's a tough go-around. I think the best thing to do would be to sing it and play a verse and a chorus together. But I would still have to prep by doing this guitar solo thing. Man, that is tricky. So tricky. I really need to think about this. Thank you, Miss Vibe, about the Leslie effect. That is a super phaser where you crank the rate up kind of high. Of course, add a little echo to it. But it kind of sounds just like the record, doesn't it? Awesome. That is very true. You'll never run out of places to play on the beaches here. There's so many. I'm going to play along to it one time, okay? Let's just try that. Interesting placements on those double stops. So that part's all straightforward. That's a verse and a chorus, okay? The most important part to learn for me right now is just the generic, the bass line. Because with the weird timing and everything, I need to know at least how that functions. Here's where it changes. So this sounds the same as before, but it's going to go to an E instead of an F sharp. Pretty creative, actually, as far as blues goes. Never mind blues in 7/8. E. So it's the same shape as this, but moved up to the E. So that E change went into this thing, which is like the solo over 4. If this solo part never comes back, it's gonna really make me wonder what to do about that. Does come back, but just for a moment. Okay, it comes back, but quieter. Third time. That's some B.B. King stuff there. Then we're back into 7/8 after that.
Money, it's a crime. Share it, don't take a slice of my pie. Money, so say, is the root of all evil today.
And then, okay, so this part is like the same as the intro verse chorus. But then it ends with just a vamp that doesn't change chords. So technically that's like a 7th part. But I could just not loop that part because it's the end of the song.
Yes, absolutely. I certainly was in the right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by stacking it like you drummers do, but yeah, you got to separate lots of parts. And it just, for me, I'm thinking about, there's chord progressions to these, and they made them different. And sometimes when songs have different chord progressions, like that are slightly different, you could just sing the melody over it, and most 90% of people won't notice the difference. These different chord changes really affect the song. So it's like, I wonder if there's any videos of people looping this out there. I mean, it's interesting. I have to learn all those little licks. But yeah, that solo section was three deep. right, guys. That's all I got for the afternoon. Man, I feel defeated. Normally I can get a lot more done. That song is no joke. No joke. That's probably going to be the biggest challenge. But thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. I got the day off. It's my birthday. So I'm going to start celebrating it right now with the family. Appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, I love that Adam Hart Mother record too. So yeah, appreciate you guys. I got to peace out and just leave it as it is and just hope that I'll get this one eventually. Take care for now. Peace.